Well, new threats tonight from ISIS following the group's bomb attacks on an airport and metro station in Brussels.
The threat promised dark days for countries allied against the Islamic State. This as investigators continue to look into this morning's series of deadly bombings across the city. The explosions started at 8 a.m., two inside the departure hall of Brussels airport, and then about an hour later, a bomb was detonated at a metro station. Here is more of what we know this evening. Belgian officials say 34 people are dead, more than 230 injured. The airport will be closed tomorrow, and new tonight, select metro, train and bus lines have resumed service. And a raid of a home nearby uncovered another explosive device that was filled with nails. Officials also found ISIS propaganda there.
Meantime, Belgian officials have released this airport surveillance photo of three suspects. The two men in the dark clothing are believed to have been the suicide bombers. The third man, wearing glasses, the dark hat, and the light-colored coat, is now the most wanted man in Europe. The man in the hat is believed to have been a guide to ensure the other two carried out the attacks. So far, no word on any other suspects in the metro station bombing. Tonight, mourners gathered outside the Place de la Bourse to hold a vigil for those lost and injured. Candles were lit, flowers left, and messages of hope and defiance were written on the square in chalk.
Following those attacks overseas, there is now heightened security at transportation hubs around the United States. One of those places, Newark Liberty International Airport. News 12 New Jersey's Chris Keating is outside Terminal B for us now. Chris.
And Marcy, there may not be any credible threats here in the U.S., but the Port Authority and TSA have already ramped up security here at this airport. Law enforcement noting that, as in Brussels, it's often the transportation hubs that are the targets for terror attacks. Inside Terminal B, travelers have been checking in for flights and heading on through gates as normal. Throughout the day, there have been obvious signs of more security, with heavily armed police, armored cars, and bomb-sniffing dogs.
This, unfortunately, is the new norm. This is not going away.
Former chief of counter-terrorism with the Port Authority, Michael Valenti, says that behind the scenes, police and FBI have been watching closely what's happened in Brussels. They are now strategizing and preparing for what could happen here. But he also says there is a responsibility that falls on you, the traveler.
If they see a bag, if they see something that just looks out of place, let the police know.
The head of Homeland Security has said there is no credible threat, yet authorities remain focused on the threat of a lone terrorist, saying, "We are concerned that such radicalized individuals or small groups could carry out an attack in the homeland with little warning," a thought reiterated by Governor Christie.
We have to be expecting that these type of attacks will happen against free countries around the world.
Perhaps we all expect it, which is why those flying to Europe from Newark are confident about traveling.
Frankly, not really, no. I feel more concerned for the other victims of terror. My heart goes out to them.
Never think about it, really. Never project it on myself. I guess you don't really think that it might happen to you.
Now, getting back to the traveler's responsibility, the Department of Homeland Security here in New Jersey says if you see something, say something. And if there isn't a police officer around, you can always dial 211 on your phone to report anything you feel is necessary. In Newark tonight, Chris Keating, News 12 New Jersey.